Gaurav, man, great to have you here. I know that you've been part of the community for a couple of years, like through the coaching, the mastermind, and everything. But you recently called me on Friday and to share a big win, and wanted to see what was that win, and then after you shared that win, I want to see what your empire looks like, and then I want to talk about how you got started with us.
Yeah, sure. So one of the biggest win, I think this was one of the biggest paychecks I have received. And I was super excited because I've I know it's on paper. A lot of the numbers are on paper, and you feel like you are like, okay, you're building equity and you're doing something. But once that amount hits your bank account and you see those numbers, it's it's an insane feeling because you know something is working. So I think like a big win this week was that I did a burr project on one of my rentals which I had held for 2 years now. And I decided to burr it and then sell it because I wanted some capital out of it to put into another like different projects. So I finally did that. And I got a buyer from LA, and then he was willing to buy it. And overall, all in all, like once everything was like settled, I netted a paycheck for 100K. So that was insane. And when that money hit, I'm like, oh my God, this is real. So,
Yes.
but then again, like that thing is very for short lived because I know I'm gonna take some money to enjoy as well, but
For sure.
most of it, probably 95% of that money is gonna go back into investments, into doing a bigger deal.
Yeah.
So I mean that's how I am scaling my business, like kind of like that compounding into like over and over and over again.
Yeah.
That's how I'm doing right now. Um, to be honest, like the community has been great. You have been great, like in supporting me throughout the journey. I still remember 3 years ago, I met you at Tahoe
Yes.
at the Go Abundance event, and it was surreal for me. I know I drove for like probably like an hour just to like meet you, and I was like, I have to do this. And you were in a Go Abundance event, and I went to that event and I saw people who at that point of time I was listening to, like so many people like David Green and then Jamie Kruger, and then made me meet people, and it's like, yeah, this is that. And I was like so fascinated about that. Was the day when I'm like, yep, I'm gonna join this group as well. And then
Mhm.
I'm gonna join. So my first step was like, getting your guidance, which I truly feel I'm blessed to have, and I truly appreciate. And I like consider you my brother. So like anything which comes on is like, hey Diego, this is happening. What's happening with you? Tell me more.
Yeah.
So after that, and I joined Fire Investors. I did like your coaching, like your one-on-one coaching. So it's been a blast, and I've been able to scale from having like one property 3 years ago to probably having, to be honest, I've lost count on this right now.
Uh-huh. That happens.
But yeah, but somewhere between, I think like 45 to 53, something around that. Like,
Yeah.
because I'm doing like so many burrs and so many units, like acquisitions at a time. So somewhere around that in the past 3 years,
That's awesome.
um, I'm finally apart, and because of you as well, like that motivation keeps, like if you are a DACA recipient, you're an immigrant, like your story resonates with me. That's why I was like, if he can do it, like I can do it as well. So that's like an inspiration. And that also got me earlier this year into Go Abundance as well. So now I get to hang out with those people as well. But simultaneously, I help and also get knowledge from your coaching as well at the same time. So it's
Yeah.
like best of both worlds.
Yeah, no, and one of the things that I do like about you is that you're a giver too. So like you're always like, how can I help the community? How can I help you, Diego? Anything that you need. You're there. I know that people in the community reach out
Yeah.
to ask questions and everything. So it's really cool to be able to have you also like you learn but then what sets you apart too is that you take action,
Correct.
right? Yeah. Now, what was the limiting beliefs in the beginning that you had that maybe stopped you from taking action in the beginning, right? Or some obstacles that you had that then now you basically like, as you scaled and everything, you are doing great.
Yeah, so I think the first challenge, so I come from I literally come from poverty. So that scarcity mindset was like a big factor of the first thing is like either I do not have the money or I do not deserve this or
Mhm.
something of that sort was like a big limiting belief that how would I do it? That's not for me. Like that. So example, like when you see like big houses, big mansions, and like nice materialistic things, you only consider those for to be people who are like super wealthy. But you never think about it that everyone has a journey, whether in that generation or like the generations before, like someone took action, right, to reach their stuff. It's not like someone is just born into wealth. So
Mhm.
someone down the lineage, someone took that action. So I decided to be that person that, okay, I am going to change the course of like my lineage of, okay, like this is where it ends and this is where it starts for me. So changing that mindset, getting out of that scarcity mindset and kind of the abundance mindset, that significantly helped me. And also, I think like taking action more in terms of it's not just taking action to kind of, hey, I want to make money. Hey, I want to do something about it. It's more about, hey, what is out there and what is something I can learn about. And this is like a new fascinating thing. I know it makes money, but how can I learn it and who are the people
Yeah.
around it who are like killing it at the game?
Mhm. Yeah.
So, and the same thing, one big thing which has helped me in this business to scale as well is that I read the book called The Who Not How, and I'm always actively who's like finding my who. Like, okay, like I
Exactly.
don't want to pick up a hammer. I don't want to like go do paint. I don't want to like I did everything. Like initially I did everything because I would be like, hey, I'm gonna watch YouTube clip to how to repair this instead of calling a plumber, instead of calling like someone else. I would like watch on YouTube, and then
Yeah.
I can fix this. It's gonna be cheaper. At that time, it served a different purpose because I was starting out and I was like capital restricted. But now, like slowly and steadily over the years, it was like, no, I'm just gonna pay someone to like fix that so I can go work on something bigger. Or
Yeah.
like I can do something like networking calls or like raising private capital, which I am excelling at, or anything which provides more value to the company instead of like like a $10 to $50 an hour task. I want to do more of the $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 an hour tasks. So that helped me scale a lot, kind of putting people and also finding people in the right places of who's gonna do it. Okay, like for example, like if it's a deal kind of deal flow, I don't need to start cold calling. I know there is a lot of people who would be like, oh no, you want to be like cold calling, you want to be closing, you want to be finding a contractor, hiring them, do this and do everything piece of the puzzle. For
Yeah.
sure, you'll make a little bit of money, but that stress for me is not worth it. I would
Mhm.
be like, hey, I can like pay you a piece of the pie. I'm making money, you're making money, we both are making money. So like it's a kind of like a shared business as well. But then if I keep giving you business, then you're gonna keep working for me.
Exactly.
So that's the who, because they are motivated now as well to keep on coming back to me. And I am kind of like regularly, because now I know they do a perfect job, I keep giving jobs to them over and over again.
Yeah. And I know that in the beginning you were based in Vegas, right? Well,
You
not
know,
in Vegas, but in Reno,
correct.
in Nevada. But you were able to invest out of state. And
Yes.
that is something that a lot of people in the beginning don't want to do, or they're afraid of doing it, right? What do you think helped you be able to make the decision that investing out of state is okay? And how at what point did you say, you know what, I'm gonna do it?
Uh, I think so. Like I came here on an education loan from India. I did not know anything how the US is going to turn out. Like I know there's a university out there. They are teaching me. And so when you're a high school, you don't know like what engineering like field is. You just know like people have gone through it and they are getting educated and getting jobs. That's all you know. So kind of like risking that knowledge of getting out from India, taking a huge amount of education loan, paying it to a university, and expecting that you're going to go there, study, learn, and then get a job. That gamble of like just doing it, like coming from there and then coming to the US, getting educated, getting a job, all of that panned out. And I was like, yeah, it makes sense. So when I started thinking about like out of state investing, it was kind of a similar way or similar
Mm,
thinking, because that I mean, it's like, okay, like I'm investing in this something which is very brand new. I don't know, but I know people are making like wealth through that. And I don't know how to do it. I know a lot of people have done it, but
mhm,
and even if I do it, I know my first like deal is not going to be a home run, or it's not like all my deals are not going to be home run. So like how I paid money for my education, if I lose money, I'm not going to treat that as a failure, but more as like a lesson to like what to avoid in the next transaction. And
mm,
that's exactly what happened, because
yeah.
like my first like my first deal, I I did a burr, but that gave me so much education. So which even like I read so many books, so many podcasts, there were so many things which I read and listened like online, like, and then just researching everything by myself. But there were so many things which books don't teach you, and like even like people won't talk about that. So those are the things, those are the crucial experiences which I had in those first deals. And but just going into that mindset that I am paying for an education to
Mhm,
get into something new, which I am like very unaware of. So I
yeah.
think if I can cross continents doing that, I mean, like jumping states, not a big deal. So
Yeah.
that was my mindset going into that as well. So that made me took like action like immediately. And I consider myself like more of an action taker, as like I don't want to keep listening to something over and over and over again. But and this was me as well, because I did not have money at that time, but I joined like the community, and then I was like, okay, I have this deal, I don't have the money. Now who's going to give me the money? So I started networking and being very active in the community. And then what happened was that this like one guy, he was like, hey, I see that you're doing like cool stuff and you're very active and stuff. I'll lend you money on this deal. If your numbers work, like I'll lend you money. So he lent me money. So it was like 80% of like the purchase price was through a hard money. And then the 20, no, the 15% he lent me. And the remaining 5% I took out on my credit card. So it was like overall 100%, but I still don't owe, like put any money of mine, because a lot of people get stuck on that fact that they don't have the money. So
Mhm,
I was always trying like, who has the money? Who has it? Who has it? And being
yeah.
on a visa, that also significantly I feel has shaped me in a way, kind of like, because there are so many restrictions which my visa puts to, like, I cannot do this, I cannot do this, I cannot do this, I cannot actively flip, I cannot do active wholesale, I cannot do like anything active, I cannot do, everything has to be passive. So it
Mhm,
always pushed me from the start on, okay, I cannot do it, like how can I find people who will do it for me?
yeah.
So just going through that directions, like that's a positive and a negative for me, I feel. But that has probably positively affected me even more,
Oh,
that like I'm
for
forced to
sure.
find someone to do that. So
Exactly. Exactly. And it gets you to a level that you can scale.
correct, yes.
So So yeah,
Yes.
that's awesome.
So
That's awesome. Well,
that's
Gaurav,
it.
dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you very much for sharing a bit of your journey, how you got started, how you made $100,000 in one day after you sold that bird property. It's super inspiring, and I know that a lot of people really look up to you. And just because you never give up, you always think outside the box, you always find a way. So thank you for that, Gaurav. Thank you
Yeah.
for thank you for sharing, and look forward to seeing how you continue scaling and seeing how you continue to help the community and how the community helps you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really appreciative of the community. So thank you. I'm really blessed to have like you and everyone in that sphere for me to like bounce up ideas, educate, and give back. So
Yeah.
thank you as well.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Gaurav. We'll talk soon.
Cool. Take care.